I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
It's been 3 weeks since Harley took down the Joker. There's no Legion of Doom, no Batman, and Gotham is Harley's for the taking. We are talking DC's Harley Quinn Season 1, Episode 14, New Gotham. And by we, I mean the panel of 3. Everyone is in the building via Zoom, quarantined up. How's everyone doing today?
Good. Isolated.
So
good. I don't know if I feel like Tatiana's not doing well. that was not a good.
I don't feel isolated at all. This
that's
is not
right.
an isolation for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have like 17 kids, 14 husbands. You have a lot going on.
20 kids, 9 husbands, but thank you. Yeah.
You're in a bunker. But
put them to work. Put them in the work.
There you go.
Okay, calm down, Chauncey Quinn. Okay.
Whatever.
Nice new hairdo. And of course, Ryan is in the back holding us down with production from the AfterBuzz makeshift studios where they're working hard and diligently to provide us AfterBuzz, after show content. So thank you so much to everyone. Ryan, we didn't ask for your face.
There you are.
I need to see him.
He did great. Keep him there.
Ryan,
not all heroes wear capes. Thank you.
There you go.
A lot of them have bats, and we're going to get into that as we talk DC's Harley Quinn Season 1, Episode 14, New Gotham. After the mid-season finale, we come back smack into it, so we're going to break it down as thus. Ivy's recap. If everyone's a villain, then nobody is. Robin fills Batman's shoes, kind of. Injustice League. The Injustice League, of course, frees Harley, and we know that double entendre. Bane Boys, Penguin's nose, or Penguin knows, and of course, Gordon tries. Batman's dead, but Bruce is still alive. Oh no! How Harley are you? Our special segment where we choose a part of the episode that describes us, news and gossip, and of course, because of the nature of the show, it's so unpredictable. We can't have predictions, but we might throw in a line or two. How were your overall thoughts on this episode, DC's Harley Quinn Season 1, Episode 14, New Gotham? Let's go with Chauncey K. Robinson Phillips IV.
Yes, Chauncey K. Robinson. Just Robinson. I thought this definitely sets the tone. I felt like this was a not totally different vibe from the first half, like season 1, but I do think we're getting a little bit of a more serialized show now. That's where I was feeling, because I just felt like everything was connected. It was a lot darker. They were keeping with the darker tone that they started to get towards the back half of season 1, and I think there's a lot of setup there. And it got back to the really bloody version. There wasn't so much slapstick, but it was definitely like one of my fave episodes.
Well, funny favorite. Did you cough? Let me drink some.
No, I did not cough.
I just want to make sure. Okay, good. Because I'm ready. I'm ready with all the things we need. Tati,
you got it all. You got it all.
Of course. Oh yeah, I'm ready to go. Tati, do you have anything?
Oh my gosh. I have a hazmat suit on by the end of the day.
He needs a mask. That's what he needs. Basically, I was trying to be nice, but no, I really like this episode. I feel like they packed a lot into one episode, which I actually liked, and I definitely agree with you, John. I feel like this is definitely going to have more of a storyline, which I'm looking forward to, because the randomness of last season, although I liked it, I was kind of craving some storyline, something that I could follow. So I'm excited to see what this brings.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Chauncey, I'd love to hear what you have to say. I don't know if I specifically trust either one of you. I'm hoping you've washed your hands, but please continue. Chauncey,
I was gonna say, like we were saying about how this show is hard sometimes to predict, but I think we've gotten to a point now with the show that you actually can kind of figure out where the plot lines are going a bit more. Not necessarily like predictable, but more so, okay, something's going to be connected to the next episode. Just with everything that happens, things are being built up on. I would say I missed Kite Man this episode. He was nowhere to be seen. I don't know what happened.
Kite Man has not disappeared. He will follow his love wherever she goes. I have no doubt we will see him again.
We need Kite Man.
Kite Man has left Gotham City. Gotham City is not a part of the United States. That's the presidential address. We got
Why don't they have? Do they not have Joker aid? Like, That's it.
It's state of emergency. The concept, you would think that should have happened a long time ago. But I agree with Chauncey on the darker tone. It wasn't as slapsticky. There were times where Shark was just biting people in half. I hadn't seen him do that for
Right.
real.
Yeah.
So they went, and then of course Harley killing Penguin. I wasn't expecting Penguin to die, or at least seemingly die. I couldn't imagine him coming back from that. However, I thought this was a great bring you back into it. The way they recapped it with Ivy in the beginning, very smart, because there were points that I had forgotten. We have had a huge break between the episode 13 mid-season finale and now the return. So it was really good and very well done. And of course, we went right back into the swing of things. What was your idea or thoughts on Ivy's recap and the sushi chef? That opening scene.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely set the tone for everything that's happened. The idea of, I mean, and there's some undertones of like real society to a certain degree, not ours right now, whatever, but like more so like, yes, season 2 of this, of season 2, what's going on here is just the idea that I don't know, I feel like there was just this idea that they wanted to kind of like anarchy going on. And I felt like Ivy once again was back to her, like she said, know-it-all self. And I appreciated that. But I also, I don't know, I feel like it's Takashi. And I also was wondering, is Takashi in Birds of Prey? I felt like he was the Thai chef in there, if anyone's seen the movie.
It seemed like a callback to that for real. And It's interesting. Ryan just gave a tidbit where he said this is definitely season 2. But honestly, Ryan, because of the shortness of the span between both, it's been marked as both, even on websites and DC's own website. It states it's episode 14, season 1, because we were promised the 26 episode first season, and they broke that into to 2 parts of 13, much like they did, of course, with why can't I think of the cartoon?
Watchmen.
No, not Watchmen. Please stop doing that.
Oh, are you talking about Justice League?
No, not Justice League. The other one, the one that's about the younger kids.
Young Justice.
Young
That's
Justice.
What I meant. Sorry, Young
Yeah,
Justice.
exactly.
They did that
Young
too.
Justice.
Yeah, they did that. Yeah,
Which
it was
I should have known. Exactly. It was just
Yeah.
like an arc. So they're doing both. So while some places are calling it season 2, DC's official designation seems to still be season 1, episode 14. So that's one of those things we're going to get into in news and gossip. So thanks for bringing that up, Ryan Nilsson, in the background. Let's talk to Tatiana.
I definitely think that her recap, I feel like it set the tone for the mood of what we're getting into, because noticing how much time has actually lapsed, everybody's kind of primal. And I think that's kind of where the goriness of everything is coming from, and why we actually see Shark just snapping people in half. And when the sushi chef comes in and they're like, oh, are we eating people? Like, I'm not sure if I want to, I think that's definitely a reflection of the times and where they're at in the story. And so it kind of made me excited, call me weird, but to see everybody kind of go super villain. I feel like everybody went super villain.
The hyenas were there too. The hyenas finally came into play.
The hyenas definitely played a part, and she specifically even mentions Bud and Lou, so she mentions them on purpose. I thought it was very well done to bring us back. The Ivy recap was exactly what we needed, knowing that it was 3 weeks. They did it very organically, so it wasn't in our face. It wasn't on last season of Harley Quinn. It was simply just a catch up, and that's what I was saying. And specifically, actually, in response to what Ryan had brought up about this season 2, that a lot of people are using season 2. Originally, this was simply a continuation of season 1. And I feel like that's something that has to do with DC's online streaming platform and not enough content, which we're going to hopefully get something in the future. I don't think that the current state with the coronavirus did anything to help the future of DC's online platform. So that's such a good recap to bring us up. We get to speed. They bring in the sushi chef, of course. Is it too much to ask for a Spidey roll, or are you strictly omakase? So we get right back into the personalities of each of the team. We get their personalities right back. But it's not the only time jump we get. 3 weeks, we later get a 2-month one. But before we get there, if everyone's a villain, then nobody is. What did you think about Harley's plan coming off of the Ivy's I Told You So's?
I thought it's something that everybody wonders, like what if these what does she call them, henchmen, what if these goons or henchmen all rose up, and kind of had their own identity? And I'm glad that they explored that, because that's something that I've always wondered, like, why are they following these guys? Why don't they realize they can all be their own? So I really like that they addressed that. We were able to see that it was just like pure mayhem, that nobody was in charge. Nothing could even be, divided or anything, with everybody running around.
You can be your own penguin. And by the way, I just want to let you know, I identify as a henchman. So please.
Sorry, excuse me.
Just like, yeah.
You can be your own
Not a
penguin.
goon. You're not a goon.
Do you mean we should do things like penguin, or should we actually be penguin? That was the big question. And it seems that they took the latter. What were your thoughts, Chauncey?
I mean, in one sense, I will say I was a little annoyed with Harley Quinn, a little bit to her resistance to, I get it. She wanted anarchy, because her whole thing, especially when she was with Joker, was chaos. Chaos was such a thing for them. So I think she wanted a whole chaotic world. And it took so much. I guess it took the ice, it took all of that just to kind of realize anarchy doesn't work. It doesn't work in most systems, but it definitely doesn't work even in Gotham, because although Gotham can seem chaotic, there is some bit of structure there. And I think the idea that she was, I enjoyed the idea of the henchmen and the goon rebellion. And I thought it was smart on her part, but I also thought it was her kind of being like, I don't want to be the leader, which is a little bit of a shift, I think, from the first half of the season, because she was before kind of saying this idea of, I want to rule things. I want to show people I can be the big person there. I could be Joker. And then suddenly it's like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to do stuff.
I think that's because she accomplished her goal, right? She wanted to beat Joker. She wanted to be the leader and do all this stuff. She accomplished her goal. She beat Joker. She got what she wanted. And now this is like, I feel like she's looking at it like her vacation time. I can see that. All right, no responsibilities. I'm done. Everybody do what you want to do.
Or maybe this is what her end goal is. See, Harley Quinn just wanted to be respected. She never once mentioned taking over the Legion of Doom. She doesn't have Lex Luthor or Joker's aspirations. She just wants to be an equal, not exactly the proletariat. She doesn't want to take over everything and be the one who's in charge. So it's very interesting to watch Harley, whose main purpose, I agree with Chauncey, is chaos. Now that there is chaos, to her, anarchy is the form of rule. But she, of course, underestimates the supervillains that are still around. They don't want that. They didn't like, having the Inquisitor or the Inquirer they didn't want to have these people who are taking up their shine. So they formed the Injustice League, and they get together. The Injustice League compromised of, let's see, who all was in the Injustice League? We had Penguin.
Saw Mr. Freeze for the first time.
Mr. Freeze showed up.
Yeah.
Who's not actually a villain. He's still trying to find a cure for his wife.
Right.
Well, no, he's not an organized criminal.
I got a reason.
How are you funding this through organized crime? So we have Penguin, Mr. Freeze. We had, of course, Bane was there in the folding chair. Two-Face and Riddler.
Yeah.
So we got these five who are together. I don't know what specifically happened to the rest of the crews, but so now we have these five together. Some of the people we know what happened. Joker seems to be destroyed under a building, because now, before I was like, Joker's still alive, but now after the Penguin's death, I'm questioning if maybe they do kill off bad people in this. They do kill off main characters.
No, because we still saw at the last episode, we saw Joker hand come up, remember? But it wasn't human, it was human.
Hey, so in this episode, I saw Penguin still kind of moving around, but he definitely got murked. It's definitely so. They have no problems killing off main characters. We saw Scarecrow die.
Okay, but some of them are secondary main characters. I think they're staples in the Batman universe for sure. But I think in the Harley Quinn sense, I think who I think there are just some people who in this sense might get demoted to red shirts in that regard, because it's like you got to have something that sticks, but at the same time, like you're not going to kill off Batman, as we saw. Joker's probably going to come back around. Lex Luthor's coming back around. There's no way he's going to be gone. But I think
hope so.
Penguin's
a major character.
For this.
Yeah,
show.
he didn't play a major character in this series so far.
He's a major staple of the Batman universe, not necessarily a major player in Harley's story.
Hold on, you're telling me he didn't have a major role? His nephew was one of the best parts of the last.
Well, yeah, his nephew.
But that was his nephew, not him.
It was him. He was all around. So I'm just wondering, what are your guys' thoughts on the Injustice League as a whole?
I mean,
weak.
Yeah, I think they're going to fail.
Who hurt you, Chauncey?
Whatever.
Justice League hurt you? So they froze Harley. I liked seeing that, and Harley didn't go with this unrealistic, even though it's a cartoon, unrealistic fight where she beats 5 of the top supervillains of all time. Mr. Freeze freezes her immediately. Penguin places her in the casino, so we get that aspect. What did you think of the freeze?
When she was actually frozen?
Yeah, of course, she was in place.
I loved that they froze her. I like that she had her time of being defeated, without her posse next to her.
This sounds like Tatiana's cry for help and wanting to be alone. That's what this sounds like.
Solitude.
Yeah,
damn it, you can tell I'm showing it through. No.
We get freezing Harley, and we also get Robin filling Batman's shoes.
That cracked me up so hard. I was dying. I thought that was perfect.
It was cute. It was very cute to see Robin. And then he walks away, and the bottle just hits him in the head. Obviously, he's not ready to be Batman.
And poor Gordon, too.
Of course, the Gordon.
Oh, my gosh. She was like the little man standing, and then his wife wants a divorce. I'm like, poor guy.
He had his own theme song he was making. I'm a good cop. I'm a good cop.
Yeah, it was a good. And then, of course, his boys turned against him, the Bane Boys. Mm-hmm. So we see just Gotham is in chaos. Obviously, it's been disowned by the United States as a whole. And even Gordon trying does nothing. Now, coming back off of Harley's frozen stature, no pun intended, the team comes in and saves her with a plan. It turns out to be Clayface's plan. They save her. We see more sharks biting, and showdown between Harley and Penguin, where Harley bites off Penguin's nose.
I was eating lunch while I was watching that, and I couldn't finish my food. Like, that was just for the amount of time that they let it stay there, just him running around with his nose all drippy.
I loved it. It kind of reminded me of the Tim Burton's Batman. Yeah,
totally.
When bites off someone's nose, I'm like, oh, it's happening in the reverse.
They brought it back.
I think it definitely was a callback. And of the callbacks that we got, Batman seemed to be dead in the rubble, but now Bruce is alive. Mm-hmm. And that leads to a lot of different things that are going to play in going forward. Let's get into our special segment, How Harley Are You? What scene in the show was you? Let's start with Chauncey.
I'm going to say this time, probably Poison Ivy. Just in trying to just to say to Harley, like, anarchy does not work. It really doesn't work. You need to step up. And her just kind of like thinking it could, and just being that, I guess, that friend who's like, okay, I'm just gonna let you fail for a little bit.
She goes, I hate being a know-it-all. I'm gonna go read.
Yeah, and then she's like, I can't help it. Comes back.
Yeah.
Mine was around the same moment, except for Harley was like, I'm gonna take them all down, and she's like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I know it's gonna happen, but we're friends, so I'm here.
So we definitely get into both of those. Mine is gonna be, and because Joker was not in this episode, and
I thought you were gonna say Joker's hand.
Mine is actually going to be Penguin, when everyone keeps saying hi to him. Hello, Penguin. Hello. And he killed the last guy. Like, too many people were saying hi. It sounded disingenuous. I am very much like that. If you're too nice, I don't trust you. Like, off the bat, I just don't trust you. That means you're nice to everybody. Why is it special if you're nice to me? I say that to my sister. I'm like, you've known me your whole life, and you've met this guy just 5 minutes ago, if you're going to be as polite to him as you are, or more polite to this person than you are to me, and I've earned it, I don't want your politeness.
Would you trust somebody more if they came up and were like immediately rude to you?
It has to be a fine balance. I don't even trust pets. I don't even trust pets that are too excited to see me who have never met me before. I don't trust you. I don't trust your baby. Like if your baby's like, like you're just gonna get kidnapped. I don't trust you. Okay, I need resistance. I need you to earn me, and for me to earn you.
Me. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, Olivia Pope. What is this? A scandal reference?
That is how I feel about it. Let's get into some. Let's get into some news and gossip, shall we?
Yeah.
I forget we don't have the music. So DC Comics, 5 reasons Harley Quinn could beat Punchline in a fight. If you don't know who Punchline is, this is great news to know. CBR.com is giving out 5 reasons Harley Quinn could beat Punchline. Punchline is Joker's new sidekick. And she is the antithesis of Harley Quinn in many ways. She is to the point, she's quiet, and it's such a great character. I don't know if you know, in Batman 93, the new version, we get Punchline, and we get to see them go up against each other. So 5 reasons, they outline it. They explain the reasons, such as Harley has experience. However, Punchline has the unknown factor. Harley is confident, but is she overconfident? And could Punchline use that? Harley has crazy power. She's got that craziness to her. Punchline is extremely stable. She's very pragmatic, and she is very deadly in that way. Harley is fast and flashy. We've seen her just have gags and weapons. But Harley Quinn, Punchline is slow and quiet. Punchline is very calculated. Harley is a fan favorite. We all love Harley. Punchline is becoming a fan favorite and therefore has something to prove. And so we're going to get to see that showdown. And if you don't know who Punchline is, you're going to want to check her out.
Based on what is she a fan favorite, though? Like,
Harley?
No, Punchline.
No,
like she's a copy. Like,
no, they said Harley's a fan favorite.
No, but they said Punchline is becoming a fan favorite. I think that's imagination.
They just said Punchline. They're just saying Punchline has something to prove. And honestly, I love Harley Quinn, but if I was gonna marry one, I would marry Punchline.
Of course. Well, Punchline is more manipulative.
I would marry Punchline. I would marry
quiet.
Punchline.
She doesn't say anything. She's easily manipulated. Of course, a lot of men would marry Punchline.
She's actually not easily manipulated.
She's not a challenge.
She is, to me, she's manipulative. She controls you with her patience.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Joker.
Listen.
Oh man.
Oh my, Chauncey.
This could go on forever.
Well, let's not let it, because we're gonna come back. Thank you so much for being with us this episode. Of course, all of you at home, we appreciate you, especially in this time. We hope that we provide quality, fun shows for you. Thank you so much for being as much, if not more so, a part of this panel as all of us. We would say in studio, but we are at home as well with each and every one of you. Stay home, watch the shows. If you're watching, make sure to share, subscribe, like, give us 5 stars on iTunes. Tell your friends, spread the word, and thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. Chauncey, Tatiana, thank you so much for being here. Ryan, thank you for not showing your face again. Where can people find you if you want to be found?
You can find me on Rotten Tomatoes. I have my latest review of the Tiger King Netflix series that everyone's been talking about, and I compare it to capitalism. Yay!
Yeah, of course. I think you used to date him. And Tatiana, where can where can people find you?
My name is at Tatiana Marisa on all social media platforms.
And find her in the bunker with 27 people. Like 27 people driving her crazy. And of course, I am Tehran, literally IAMTEHRAN, all across the board, and hosting and paneling on a slew of other AfterBuzz after shows, because all of your favorite TV shows are my favorite TV shows too. Till next week, we're going to be talking more Harley Quinn season 1, episode 15, or season 2, episode 2. However you want to call it, we'll be there. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.